Hey Kingdom, do you know which race is worst in Baldurs Gate 3? If you think it's Drow, you're wrong, because you see worst race on the screen right now. Yeah, it's Dwarf. But why this cute old guy is the worst race in Baldurs Gate 3? Let me explain. Baldurs Gate 3 is based on Dungeons & Dragons tabletop game, but in D&D, dwarfs are actually insane. They get constitution and strength bonus. This means you can make dwarf into very good cleric who can keep concentration, or nice and beefy fighter. But in Baldur's Gate 3 you can get this +2 and +1 bonus as any race and class. And do you know what's left for our fellow dwarf? Protection from poison, which is mostly useful only in first act against goblins. Mediocre dark vision that you don't need when anyone got light cantrip in your party. And proficiency in weapons that you probably will never even look at, because these weapons are so useless, basic and boring. And if you think that's bad, it will become even worse when you realize the dwarves got limited movement speed. So basically any race you will pick will be better than dwarf. But today I will show you my build for dwarf especially, that will make dwarf insanely broken character in Baldur's Gate 3. And to start your journey, make sure your first class is barbarian. When you're deciding on your dwarf sub-race, don't pick shield dwarf, because he even don't have shield proficiency. If you want cool abilities, go for druiger. Druigers can go into invisibility or can enlarge themselves, but I will start as gold dwarf for additional HP. Starting attributes will be as followed. We want 17 strength, 14 dexterity, 16 constitution and a little bit of wisdom. And you're ready to make most broken dwarf build. Right from the start of the game you will level up, but don't rush too much. You don't want to level up right now. Don't press on this button. With my starting ability point distribution you will be pretty okay and will make your road to druid growth. That's where you want to find first trader you will meet, Aaron, and make sure to buy Ring of Flinching from him. Then go down. And that's another trader you're looking for, Auntie Ethel. She's selling these awesome elixirs of heal giant strength. Buy them all. Now you can press on level up button, get one more level in barbarian, and look, the shop has just reset, so we can buy a lot more potions and lotions battle. But you probably will be short on money right now, that's why you need to go and look for friends. This pale elf will work nicely. Make sure your elf distracting nearby tiefling. And now you can do sneaky stuff and get all potions for free. Go into barter mode and split all potions one by one. Now you can easily pickpocket them, but that's not it. We need a little bit more shopping. So for next item we're going into Goblin Camp and talking with Grad the trader. He got this awesome pike. Make sure to get it. This pike not only got enchantment +1, but also will be returned to our hands when thrown. And on level 3 you want to pick one more level in barbarian and pick berserker subclass. At the start of your day make sure to drink one heal giant strength potion. It will last for all day, and your strength will become 21 flat. That's one of the most broken early game builds. You just frenzy from the start of the battle and throw your pike. It will already do around 16-15 damage every time, which is more than half damage needed to down a foe at these levels. But coolest part will be from round number 2. Try to find high ground. It will add additional damage to your throwing attacks, if you're high enough. But also from second round you can start using enrage throw. So you're effectively doing 2 attacks in single turn, and Berserker Barbarian is the only class who can do it effectively and constantly. So if you think this dwarf is broken right now, wait until you hit level 4, where you can finally pick a feat and go for Tavern Brawler feat, add +1 into strength, and from now on potions is actually not needed a lot, because they not adding too much to your strength anyway. And with Tavern Brawler you will add additional strength to your throwing attacks. It will make success rate of these attacks almost 100%. And damage will also be insane for first act. But even without leaving first act you can be a lot more powerful. So don't run away too fast. First of all, make a visit to MacLeod colony in Underdark and talk with Derrit Bonecloak. She is looking for her husband and you need to fulfill this quest to get awesome item. Luckily for us it's really quick quest. Just go to the right outside of MacLeod colony, you will find a lot of green dangerous mushrooms and you need to be careful, get backpack and give it to the dwarf. Now Dwarf will run away and you can talk with Dead Boneclock again. She will grant you with Gloves of Kushiga. These gloves will add additional damage to our throwing attacks, and most likely you will be already level 5. So just get one more level in Barbarian. This will give you extra attack, so now we can do 3 attacks in one turn. And that's more than enough to be able to get to act number 2. Right now we are already pretty powerful dwarf, but we want to become really broken right now, so we will do it insanely fast. And when I say broken, I really mean it. We will use some super broken and cool game mechanics that will buff up our damage insanely. But before we will get there, that's how you want to play. You can stand on the high ground, and from stealthy position when you're throwing your pike, it will do insane amount of damage already. Just look at this. Just by doing one single throw, you will inflict your piercing damage from pike, +1 from enchantment, +5 from strength, +2d4 from your gloves and ring, then additional 5 flat damage from tavern brawler, and this will trigger additional damage from ring and gloves again. So we're just rolling insane amount of damage, and that's broken. But as you can see, normal attacks not doing a lot of damage with this basic weapon, so better use little goblins as your improvised weapons if you need something in a close combat. When you will roam around Act 2, you will level up a little bit, and that's where you want to pick next subclass. It will be Rogue. Then we're getting one more level in a Rogue. This will give us ability to use dash as bonus action in case we need to make a distance with enemy or maybe close distance to enemy. But we actually want one more level in Rogue to unlock additional bonus action from Thief subclass. And jumping forward a little bit, on level 9 we're getting one more level in the Rogue. And now we want to pick dual wielder feat, or you can go with ability strength +2. And sorry, but I forgot about a really important detail to make our dwarf insanely broken. It will be in Act 1. In Blighted Village you will find 3 giants. These 3 giants is really cool and nice friends, or could be nice friends, but enemy we want to find Lamp Enlightened and get one item from him. You can do it however you like, but make sure to get this Headband of Intellect. You don't need to wear it, you don't need to be smart dwarf anyway, but you will need this headband later. And there's a little bit of items you want to get in Act 2. In Last Light Inn, find Quartermaster Tali, and I recommend to getting this 20 scale mail from her. It will add full dexterity modifier to our armor class. And because you're a ranged character, you can dump a little bit of constitution and get more dexterity instead. But then go to Moonrise Towers and go to Ruo Moonglow. She gets this awesome hat, Marksmanship hat. It looks very cool and also adds +1 to our range attack rolls and thrown attack rolls, so we get more chance to hit and more damage. But there's one more person we want to find in Moonrise Towers to become Broken Dwarf. Go a few doors to the left and find Arash Oblodra. She gets something very interesting, and she will be interested in your friend. I like to tell you that we travel together, and then tell Astarion that I surprised he don't want to do anything. After this sequence we will get Potion of Everlasting Vigor, drink it, and now our strength will be 22 if we picked +2 strength feat. So no more lotions and potions needed, and we are already in the Act 3. And that's where we will become insanely broken, and you will understand why we need dual wielder feat. But first of all, let's talk about leveling in Act 3. It's easy and straightforward. Just get one more level in Barbarian to Act 1st and not being surprised, and basically finish with Barbarian to get feat on last level, and that's why you want to pick strength +2. So this crazy dwarf machine will have more than 140 HP. 22 strength without potions, and still with a pike from Act number 1. And that's what we want to fix right now. Luckily for us, we can do it insanely fast from the start of Act 3. Hey, it's very likely you will find text versions of this and other builds in my Discord. Just press on more and you will find link for it in description. And we got 2 different roads to achieve better weapon. One is just go to the right side and find this trader. He's selling Dwarven Thrower, and this hammer one of the best reasons to pick Dwarf in Baldurs Gate 3. So what is this hammer? It's also homing weapon, so it will return to your hand whenever it's thrown. But also, if you're a dwarf, it will add additional damage to your throwing attacks, and also even more damage if you're throwing on large creatures. I can tell you how insane this damage is, but let me better show it to you. That's typical enemy from Act 3, level 8 human. If you throw level 8 human, he will inflict 19 damage. So if you're throwing big guy, he's doing 19 damage. But if you're throwing this little hammer, it will inflict insane amount of damage. Outside of the combat, it will be around 30 damage. But in the combat, you will be able to use Frenzy for additional damage. And also you will be able to make 2 attacks with action and 2 attacks with bonus action, so 4 attacks per turn, and with Frenzy this hammer can even one-shot squishy targets, with average 50 damage. And yeah, don't forget, we will make it even more with help of this headband of intellect and our dual wielder feat. But first of all, let me show you route number 2. So second route will be to go here into circus and kindly ask this genie to give you best throwing weapon in the game. In most situations it will be even better than Dwarven Hammer. To get this weapon you need to pickpocket ring from Genie and then just talk with him and play his game a little bit. And you will finally find Nurilna. This weapon got better enchantment, more damage with thunder damage, and also will inflict additional thunder damage on throwing attack. So while it sounds cool, actually in some cases you don't want to use Nurilna, because it will also damage your party members. That's why it's very nice to be dwarf and being able to switch into Dwarven Thrower to make nice single target attacks. And to finally become insanely OP Dwarf, we need to go into House of Hope in Act number 3. And while we're going there, let me explain this broken combination I found to give insane damage to our Dwarf. Dwarven Hammer and Nurilna can be wielded in one single hand. You will lose 2 maximum damage, but you will be able to gain a lot more damage instead, just by using dual wielder feat. And what you need to do is to just pick any dagger or short sword in offhand. For example, you can go with Rhapsody, very nice dagger you will find in Act 3, but you can go with any dagger you like. Rhapsody is just best pick for this build. So what is the interaction and how it works? Whenever you will get advantage on target, for example when you're invisible from the start of the combat or you're hiding and you throw in your Dwarven Hammer, look, we get additional damage. Where do we get this awesome bonus damage and also slashing damage? So 12 slashing damage comes from the offhand dagger or short sword, or any other finesse weapon in your offhand actually, because this broken interaction will actually trigger sneak attack on our throws. So your first throw in the round will add additional damage because we already picked a rogue subclass. That's insanely cool and powerful interaction. And if you're still using lotions and potions battle, I actually recommend you skipping loads of barbarian levels and going with 5 barbarian and 7 rogue. More rogue levels will mean you will have more sneak attack dices and therefore more damage. How broken it is? It's insanely broken. Your throws will do around like 200-300 average damage on each turn. You will easily dismember all targets in Act 3 and go through the whole game. This character insanely cool and can carry whole party. But actually I don't like using lots of lotions and potions. And in reality last part of the build is this headband of intellect. That's where we need it. After we finish House of Hope, and you can easily do it with Nurilna if you're having problems against sanctuary targets, because now you can throw Nurilna underneath your enemies and basically avoid sanctuary, or throw it at packs of enemies and destroy all of them in few throws. So in the end of House of Hope there will be a big door. You can lockpick it or just drop some stuff on the altar and it will open the door. And you will find this big mirror. Now you will need help of your friends again. You need Bard or Paladin in your party, or basically anyone who got ability to remove curse, or just scrolls that you can easily buy from the shop. Make sure to get this headband of intellect before talking to mirror. There will be a lot of difficult intelligence checks. That's why getting additional bonuses to checks is very nice from clerics, bards and other gear. In dialogue with this mirror you will be able to give some stats and get any stats bonus instead. So now we will have 24 flat strength without any lotions and potions. But I donated some intelligence, therefore I'm a little bit stupid right now, but after using remove curse scroll, My intelligence is back. 24 flat strength. Ability to use sneak attack by throwing your big dwarven hammer. I think this character is insanely fun. Cool looking dude. And also one of the most powerful builds from level 4. But I got 8 more broken builds that comes in line from level 4 and they're just insanely broken. Make sure to watch them on the screen right now and see you in the next videos.